Standing up time. Coffee break is just after. Even if you already have a coffee. So guys, I hope you had a nice night yesterday night. Hope it was super good. How was the food? Cool. Excellent. Yeah, I expected that. Have you liked the place, also the town hall and everything? Good lighting, good building, good structure, team building, everything, right? That's good. So now let's go on this plenary session. You have been running for some of you. And now it's still time to talk about promoting physical activity with Dr. Alexandre Feltz. Was it like this yesterday? I think it was. This was sunny, not like today. But probably we will bring the sun. So, it is now time for a very special plenary session dedicated to physical activity. Alsace has been in France so far one of the first regions in which physical activity can be prescribed as a medication, following a few rules. As a medication, it's covered by the health system. And this experience is very unique and tends to spread in France for a few years now, but it's still rare. It's a bad thing, but we're spreading it little by little. Our expert today, Dr. Alexandre Feltz, just next to me, is one of the most involved physicians in this topic and one of the creators of this action here in Strasbourg. So let's hear his words, the words of a man who was there at the beginning of the story. And for that, we have a little video to show you right now.
11 millions de personnes en France sont aujourd'hui atteintes de maladies chroniques. Des études scientifiques prouvent que la pratique d'une activité physique modérée et régulière améliore l'état de santé et complète efficacement un traitement médicamenteux. C'est pourquoi Strasbourg, dès novembre 2012, a lancé le dispositif Sport Santé sur ordonnance. Il s'adresse aux personnes de plus de 18 ans, résidant à Strasbourg, touchées par l'une de ces maladies dites chroniques. Obésité, diabète de type 2, maladies cardiovasculaires, hypertension artérielle, cancer du sein, cancer du côlon, VIH-Sida, et aux personnes fragilisées de plus de 60 ans. Depuis 2012, 1600 personnes, orientées par 320 médecins, ont bénéficié du sport santé sur ordonnance. 700 personnes sont actuellement actives. Chaque mois, ce sont 30 nouveaux bénéficiaires qui font leur entrée dans le dispositif. Le sport santé sur ordonnance se déroule en 3 étapes. Un médecin traitant prescrit de l'activité physique par le biais d'une ordonnance. Muni de cette ordonnance, le patient rencontre un éducateur sport santé de la ville. Ensemble, ils déterminent les 2 activités physiques les plus adaptées. Marche nordique, aquagym, aquamarche, rameur, karaté, basket, badminton, vélo, roller, qigong.
C'est gagnant-gagnant, c'est gagnant pour le patient, mais c'est gagnant par la sécurité sociale, parce que on n'a pas de complications de son diabète. Et on peut espérer qu'il en ait le moins possible, le plus tard possible, s'il continue à être dans le médicament. Et pour d'autres, dans d'autres maladies, on peut même diminuer, voire arrêter les médicaments, par exemple dans le diabète dit de l'obèse ou dans l'hypertension artérielle. Et donc ça, c'est gagnant pour la sécurité sociale.
70% des bénéficiaires sont des femmes. Âge moyen, 52 ans. 60% d'entre eux n'ont pas d'activité professionnelle. Enfin, 80% sont issus des quartiers prioritaires de la ville. Le dispositif Sport Santé sur ordonnance dure jusqu'à 3 ans. Pendant la première année, il n'entraîne aucun frais pour l'usager. Ensuite, une participation financière lui sera demandée en fonction de ses revenus. À la fin de la première et de la deuxième année, S'il souhaite continuer à bénéficier des séances d'activité physique, le patient consulte son médecin pour obtenir une nouvelle prescription. 2/3 des activités physiques sont encadrées par les éducateurs sport-santé de la ville. 1/3 par une quinzaine d'associations partenaires formées au sport-santé.
Bon, c'est des tests qui peuvent paraître simples et naïfs, mais ça peut nous donner des indications dans ce qu'on va proposer après. Parce que si la personne n'est a priori pas dans un état stabilisé au niveau lombaire, je sais qu'il y a des pratiques qu'il va falloir qu'on évite, ou d'autres qu'on va essayer de plutôt favoriser.
Le sport-santé sur ordonnance se pratique partout. Parcs, parcours vita-boucle, gymnase, piscine, dont les bains municipaux, véritables lieux dédiés au sport-santé. L'évaluation médicale a démontré que le dispositif permet une amélioration de l'état de santé. Perte de poids, baisse du diabète, baisse de l'hypertension artérielle, amélioration du souffle, réduction des chutes et baisse de la consommation de médicaments. L'évaluation sociologique a également établi que l'activité physique permet une amélioration du lien social et de l'état psychologique des bénéficiaires suivis.
Vous vous sentez mieux, vous ne pensez pas à vos bobos. C'est ça aussi qui est très important. On ne rumine pas, on est positif. Le cerveau vous donne un signal, il faut être positif et petit à petit ça se met en place. C'est sûr, ça ne se met pas en place au bout de quelques séances, il faut du temps, mais avec le temps on y arrive et on se sent très bien.
Les collectivités engagées dans la mise en place du dispositif se sont réunies à Strasbourg en 2015 lors des premières assises du sport santé sur ordonnance. Elles ont décidé de créer un groupe de travail national sous l'égide de l'Organisation mondiale de la santé. Concrètement, ce réseau leur permet de débattre, d'échanger sur les bonnes pratiques et les difficultés, de valoriser les expériences de terrain.
So we have 3 guest people that were in the VitaBook on Friday morning. So would you like to share with us your experience, please? Who's starting first? Anda. Let's go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I was very happy to participate in the VitaBook tour to discover the public health facilities that you have. And I enjoyed very much, and I also was able to speak with some patients who used it. And firstly, I saw that they were very positive about the experience and they were happy. And they also told me about the positive outcomes. So I met one man who was 66 years old, and he had been diagnosed with diabetes type 2 for 4 years. And from these 3 years, he was taking Metforol 3 times a day, and he was controlling his diabetes, and it was quite difficult. But for the last year, he joined this program. He started to go to the gym once a week, to walk once a week, and once a week to go to swim. And he was very happy that now he doesn't have to take Metforol. This is glycoside hemoglobin was 6.8, and he really seemed to be very happy. And he had also discovered many friends, and they are attending overall, I understood, 20 people in a group. So overall, it's very, very nice. That physical activity has become available, and as we saw that more than approximately half who you prescribe, they really do. So the motivation actually is very high. despite that they are not young, because mostly in public house, mostly think about young. But that's very nice. Thank you very much.
Next is Sarah. This is Sarah. There are many Sarahs.
Hi, good morning. I'm Sarah from Portugal. I was really excited about this activity, and it was even better than what I expected it would be. In Portugal, we don't have programs like this, unfortunately, and it was so good that I ended it with great motivation to bring it to our country. So I can tell you about the experience. It was a great opportunity to share a walk with patients. I met Marie-Joseph and Lilette. They both have diabetes. Marie-Joseph had also 2 ITs in the past, transient yes, thank you. And she also has cholesterol, high cholesterol, and she's really excited about the program. She joined in November. She's very active, and as she defines herself, elle est une femme battante, hyperactive et tonique. So it was really good for her that she had the opportunity to go out, meet new friends, do physical activity, benefit from it, and to have a new life, as she told me, as a senior. I think this is really positive, and I believe that in my country this would be a great revolution, since the elderly stay home. Once people retire, they stay home, they don't exercise, they don't go out, they don't meet with other people that often. And it would be a great experience and a great thing to bring this to Portugal. So I want to thank you, and I want to congratulate you, because this is awesome. I can't describe it more properly. It's a great revolution that you're doing here, and I will be really, really happy to have the opportunity to prescribe exercise as a doctor to my patients. Thank you so much.
Who's next?
Indra.
Oh yeah.
Hi. I don't have to add that much to the other 2 participants who already explained a bit. So I also took part in the Vita Buccal yesterday. I talked a little bit with the patients. I didn't have like very long conversations, but I remember that for the warming up, for example, we had to do like some exercises together, and it was really nice because there was like an older man. I think he was 66 or like between 65 and 70 years old, and we were doing like the warming up together, and it was really nice because probably I would not have talked with him in another situation, or when he should have come to the practice. It would be someone with like, how to say, he was like far away from my daily life, because like an older man, but there we were like really doing sports together, so it brought us also a bit closer. And he also told me afterwards that the fact that they do the Vita Buccal, you like make contact with other people whom you would not talk. So I think it's very important for the health, and it's also very important for the mental health and the social importance of this, that you get to know other people and that you talk with them, what you wouldn't do when you meet them in the street.
Now we have a few minutes for other questions. Do you have any experience of such programs in your country? That's what I'm asking right now. So, who wants to talk about that?
Hi everyone, my name is Lula Chetty. I'm a GP in Scotland and the UK, and we have a programme called Live Active, whereby patients can get funded to go to their local sports centre and get a programme and get one-on-one fitness classes. But I have to say, I was also on the Vita Book tour yesterday, and I did not compete, because I thought a real strength yesterday was the fact that there was just so much fun, and the instructors were so energetic, and you could see, like, at times we were walking past people who bumped into the instructors who know them from that initiative, and there was just hugs and laughter. So there was so much energy from that I think compared to a kind of one-on-one program, there's no competition. It was really fun.
Germany. Erika from Germany. We have the possibility to prescribe rehabilitation sports at a very low level, and this is a possibility which we can do, and we can also send persons to the sports clubs with special groups for health promotion and healthy sports. But there is no formal investigation before that, and but you can do it. It is not so much promoted as you have done it in your region.
In Belgium, we also have a system now that is starting. It's also called moving on prescription or something like here. But it's more like we have this coaches, this kind of sport coaches, sport health coaches who are there to do it. But it's just really, it's very recent. It's not very big yet in Belgium, and there it's you prescribe, and then it's like one-on-one. So the people can go to such a sport coach that is there to help the people, to motivate them to do sport. But I think the disadvantage at this moment is that it's just for like a couple of months or a couple of sessions. And I think which is very good here is that it's like at least 1 year, and it's also in a group, so I think it motivates people more to come. But in Belgium now it exists that you can prescribe, and you can send the people to one sports coach that will help them to look together to a solution to be a bit more healthy and do more sports.
Thank you for a nice presentation. I also participated in the rally yesterday. It was great. Great beginning of the conference. I'm Martin from Prague, Czech Republic. Unfortunately, I don't have the possibility to prescribe in the physical activity except physiotherapy in the Czech Republic. So that's what motivated me to open since last week a new room as a part of our practice, and we hire our own physiotherapists and yoga therapeutists. And there will be place for like 7 people doing group exercise, and we will prescribe for our patients and whoever comes directly in our practice, and it will be like fitting exactly what the patients need, and with the emphasize on the group meeting as well. Potential. So we're going to see.
Hi, good morning. My name is Elena. I'm from Spain. And first, thank you so very much for this forum. Really great. We are having lots of fun, and it is very well organized. And then to share with you the experience which we have. First, Spain is a very healthy population. We eat in a very healthy way, lots of vegetables, there are lots of vegetarians, it's horrifying. to yoga and everybody unbearable. But they speak about the people, our patients. It is not so very developed, the prescription of the exercise and consultancies, but since 1 year ago there exists one special unit in the Madrid Society of Family Medicine, which is called Running Away from Infarction. And running away from infarction is where you can call directly to them and you can arrange the meeting with the doctors, which arrange for each patient personally a development program, how to lose weight, how to control their way of their alimentation, how to make exercise. They have special rehabilitator doctors, but rehabilitator not for joints and not for arthrosis, if not for the people with diabetes, cardiac problem, cholesterol, and all these things. But we're starting now, I think. Thank you.
Je vais dire quelques mots. André va.
I will translate again.
D'abord, on voit là par rapport à vos expressions que c'est un problème européen. Pourquoi c'est un problème européen? Mondial, mais on va parler de l'Europe.
Judging from your faces and features, and all what you said, looks like it's very different in all your organizations and in all your countries. So let's talk about it internationally.
Parce que le problème des maladies chroniques aujourd'hui est un problème majeur, et c'est une vraie épidémie partout dans les pays dits développés. Et un des déterminants majeurs des maladies chroniques, c'est la sédentarité et l'inactivité physique.
So there are many chronic diseases nowadays, and you said a lot of things. I got the point. Many chronic diseases, and one of the major facts about this public health problem is that we should tackle this physical inactivity.
Un exemple, pour qu'on voit bien, en 1940, dans les pays...
One example, in 1940, in the country... In all of countries,
on marchait plus de 6 heures par jour.
Walking more than 6 hours per day.
Aujourd'hui, 3/4 de la population fait moins de 30 minutes par jour.
Today, 3/4 of the population is doing less than... You don't need me, come on.
Et donc, dans le sport santé sur ordonnance, c'est un exemple qu'on donne souvent. Donc sur les 1500 personnes qui étaient dans le dispositif, plus de 70% ne savaient pas nager et ne savaient pas faire de vélo.
On the 1,500 people in the program, more than 70% didn't know how to swim. Or ride bikes.
Ça veut dire que la sédentarité crée la maladie et que la sédentarité aggrave la maladie.
Yes, physical inactivity is really worsen all the disease. It's getting worse and worse.
Et donc c'est pour ça que en France, on a réussi, grâce à Strasbourg et à d'autres villes, à inscrire le sport santé dans la loi.
So in France, we managed to put it in the law.
Donc il y a des décrets d'application qui ont été également réalisés.
There are some décrets d'application which were realized and put in the law.
Et donc ça veut dire que en France, on va, mais en Europe aussi, avoir des prescriptions des médecins généralistes, des médecins traitants. Il faut maintenant l'organiser et bien sûr, comme d'habitude, le financer.
So in France and in other countries, we'll have the ability to prescribe physical activity, but the problem is to organize it and to finance it, to find the funds.
mais dans beaucoup de pays, la France notamment, mais aussi d'autres pays, aujourd'hui le modèle économique sur les médicaments pharmaceutiques existe.
So in Europe and in France, the economical model for pharmaceuticals exists.
Mais sur la question de la prévention, on n'a pas de modèle économique.
But about prevention, there is kind of nothing.
Et donc c'est vrai que c'est un investissement à un moment donné.
It's a real investment.
Et ça va rapporter ensuite.
It will probably help to have some funds.
Mais il faut faire l'investissement à un moment donné. Donc c'est un des problèmes de la France d'investir dans la prévention ou dans les thérapies non médicamenteuses.
So it's one problem in France that we have to invest more in prevention measures and prevention programs.
Et pour finir, mais les intervenants l'ont bien dit, c'est vrai que Sport Santé sur ordonnance, c'est bien sûr un dispositif médical, sanitaire, mais c'est aussi un dispositif social. Puisque bien sûr on diminue les médicaments, les gens vont mieux, mais aussi, et vous l'avez tous bien exprimé dans vos interventions, ça crée du lien social pour des gens qui sont isolés et malades.
It's not only biomedical, it's very social. The thing that you have this program, and you were talking about it, all of you and also the patient, there is that interconnection between people. It's bringing people all together, so it will be probably a more strong argument to go on these projects and give funds with that.
Voilà, et donc c'est pour ça qu'à Strasbourg, donc le 12 octobre 2017, on va refaire les assises européennes du sport santé. Pour réunir toutes les expériences qui existent. Donc s'il y a des personnes ici qui veulent venir, ou s'ils ont des liens dans leur pays d'origine avec des modèles qui peuvent être différents, on l'a exprimé là. Donc voilà, on est à votre disposition. André fera le lien.
I can be the link between you and him. Yeah, so you have that special date, save this date, 12 October 2017. Is it in English or in French?
In French, but
it's in French.
Translate.
It can be translated like this. I can go. Yeah. So those are assises européennes, European, to talk about all these projects all around France and in Europe. Very good. So you can come. Also, a few words about that. So if you're really interested in research project on sports and health, just get in touch with us. We'll be around.
Ouais. Oui, je dois dire ça. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a eu beaucoup de thèses, notamment de médecine générale, sur le sport santé à Strasbourg et en France. Et je me dis que ça serait intéressant que vous puissiez aussi, dans vos pays, faire des thèses qui pourraient aussi être sur 2 pays ou 3 pays. Donc ça pourrait être des choses tout à fait intéressantes à mettre en place.
As we have a lot of work of thesis of GBs in Strasbourg, probably you may have also these projects in your countries. Could be interesting to work on different places to talk about that and build projects together. Join us. So now it's coffee break.
We have another question here.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. I would just like to ask you, and maybe Andre, you can translate to French. How many of the how do you say it? PIB, French PIB, internal products. Yes.
Gross internal product.
Gross internal product of France is dedicated to promote to preventive care, because in Portugal we only use 4% of our gross internal product dedicated to health. We only use 4% in preventive care. The other 96% are used to care, to curative care, and so how many of the French gross internal product is dedicated to preventive care?
En France, quand on met 1 euro sur la prévention, on met entre 100 et 1000 euros sur le soin, sur le sanitaire.
It's like €1 for prevention, €1,000 for care in pharmaceuticals, kind of the scale.
En fait, elle demandait le pourcentage CDP au niveau de la prévention.
En tout cas, c'est faible, c'est très très faible.
It's well less than 5% too. Well, talking right now of the National College of General Practice.
Le système français, comme je l'ai dit, est vraiment centré sur le soin, hein, clairement. Alors, bien sûr, il y a des bases avancées, on travaille, les médecins généralistes notamment, mais le système, en tout cas français, est très centré sur le soin.
I think that's something we must ask ourselves, is what's behind this? Because I guess it's, as you say, and it's correct, it's a European problem. It's also a London problem, but we are directing our focus here to Europe. If physical activity can act as primary prevention, secondary prevention, tertiary prevention, how is it not our focus right now? How is it? We are in the 21st century and this is not a thing. So I think we must ask ourselves, why is it like this? Why does it keep like this? And fight the source of this problem. Thank you.
Okay. À mon avis, il y a deux éléments de réponse. Le premier, je pense que les médecins généralistes, les soins de santé primaire sont une force très importante pour s'engager autour de cette question. Et après, le choix est un choix politique. Hein, un choix politique, comme j'ai dit, sur réorienter de l'argent aujourd'hui. On le voit en France sur deux exemples.
First thing about that is that first thing, the GPs are a big force right now in France. Primary care is getting very, very bigger, and it's very good power to engage ourselves into a certain direction, which could be prevention, for example, which is not the case.
And the second one is political opposition.
Deux exemples. Le premier, c'est sur les médicaments de la maladie d'Alzheimer. Toutes les études montrent que ça n'a quasi aucune efficacité. Par contre, ça a beaucoup d'effets secondaires. Et nous, les généralistes, on freine à fond les prescriptions autour de cette question. Mais, là encore, l'arbitrage politique a été qu'on continue à les rembourser. Or, l'activité physique est beaucoup plus efficace dans la prise en charge des maladies d'Alzheimer que les médicaments. Donc vous voyez, le choix, il est économie libérale politique.
First things about Alzheimer's disease medications, there is no study or evidence that's really proving that's very useful for these people. And it's still being reimbursed by the Social Security in France. So that's a paradox, like of why are you really reimbursing something which is not very evidence-based, compared to physical activity which is not reimbursed, especially. I mean, in Strasbourg it's a very special context, it's not the whole France like this. So it's very new, and it's working at the moment, and that's cool. But in other cities in France, it's not the case. So we should promote more about these non-medical stuffs and projects to give better care.
L'autre exemple, c'est le diabète. Ça, c'est encore plus important. On sait bien aujourd'hui que peu de médicaments ont peut-être une efficacité sur la morbidité et la mortalité. Mais ils sont remboursés, en tout cas en France, je crois dans les pays européens aussi, si vous voulez, largement, alors que l'activité physique, elle n'est pas remboursée, alors qu'elle a des niveaux de preuve scientifiques supérieurs.
Second example is about the medication for diabetes. Like none of them, like almost none of them have proven that's really useful and yes, useful in morbidity or mortality, but it's still reimbursed also in France. So same thing that Alzheimer's disease medication.
But I think the main answer is also that political action always, but I think it's common in all your countries, take much more time, and especially another for the prevention, I guess it's not political effective because it takes time to see the result of prevention, and political has like session about 3, 4, 5 years, and that's it. So no one will go on prevention, even if it's really weird because it's not as effective that we would
Mais en même temps, on est dans un mouvement, si vous voulez. Je pense que ce mouvement va continuer, si vous voulez, autant où il y a eu beaucoup d'expressions publiques sur le sport santé à Strasbourg, mais aussi en France. Il y a d'autres villes en France, il y a d'autres lieux. Donc il y a un mouvement aujourd'hui autour de la prévention et autour de l'activité physique comme médicament pour les maladies chroniques. Et voilà, c'est le début, quoi.
So you're saying it's the beginning because it's really more in fashionable topic, and we had also a law that was shown this year about the prescription about sport. So it will come, but it takes time. So it's
one of the good moves. Thank you.
Coffee time.
And coffee break.